Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we have a very special guest, YTX Pikachu. YTX, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm YTX Pikachu. People usually call me by short, just call YTX. I'm usually known as the spreadsheet guy or the number guys in the community. I do a lot of usage data for Go Stadium, GBL data as well, and so on. And I also help a lot of content creator like 7even with his count chart and so on like that.
Yeah, no, I've been a big fan of your work. I've seen several of your tweets,
Mhm.
and ever since the Sylph days as well. Just helping try to understand what teams are being used, what Pokemon are most commonly used, and trying to get a better understanding of how I can prepare for my tournaments. And most recently, I've seen some of your tweets regarding the usage of Pokemon in Go Battle League. So in particular, the Great League. Do you want to just share some of the stuff that you've been capturing and some of the insights?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go with the recent one. Season four usage data, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tweeted this recently, but this is more of an up-to-date one. So and like you can see that the usage data
Mm-hmm.
on the two left columns,
Yeah.
and then the data on the thing, and also recently and recent usage. Those are basically capture the data point within the last 48 hours, because obviously meta shift changes. So you can kind of see what changes and what's currently recent, right? So
Yeah.
like for example, right now you can see a balance snow is at 5.6% compared to the 2.9% lead. I'm not 100% sure what caused meta shift. Like usually it's YouTubers, streamers, or whatnot, but it's just interesting to capture the trends and just kind of beat that as well.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Can you talk about like what obviously a Zoom rule is common across all the different ranks, right? But what Pokemon what are the big changes across the different ranks that you find are pretty interesting? Because obviously people are different ranks as they play GBL. What Pokemon are do you find are more common at the lower ranks, and which one are more common at the higher ranks?
Yeah, from this this graphics right now, you can see that rank 8, there's a higher number of like Drifloon, right? At 3.5 compared to the other ranks. So like if you're a lower ranks and you see like YouTubers or like streamers, right? They're all rank 8. You don't shouldn't prepare for like Drifloon in my opinion, because you won't see as much in rank 5 compared to rank 8 players. Once we get to like rank 9 and like ratings and stuff like that, the meta's gonna shift a lot. Like in my opinion, like last time season 3, we can see like the 2900s and 2800s is nowhere the same. I mean, it's similar, but it's not the same. So usually that's why I think, my opinion, people jump from 29 and then fall back down to 28 because the meta is different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you have examples of those, like from last season,
Yeah,
just so we can get a sense of what that looks like?
I didn't. Last season I had
Or
mostly.
it could
I
just
didn't
be
search.
it could even be like Ultra Premier, or I think because
Yeah, Ultra Premium.
Ultra Premier is coming out, right? So I think it'd be kind of interesting to see. And in theory, the meta hasn't changed that much, right?
Yeah.
Since
So Ultra Premiere, I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, Ultra Premiere, everyone's rating was still low because the so-called multiplier wasn't in effect. I think everyone's in the 2600 during the time I captured this point.
mm-hmm.
You can see that Snorlax is more popular in the 2500s compared to 2600s.
Oh, interesting.
Um, and let's see what else. Galay was also more popular in 25s. Um, what else? Yeah, just stuff like that. Like obviously, also the number of 26 players was less than 25, so the number
Yeah.
of data
So
points also a little different. So
yeah.
you have to
So
take that in consideration.
yeah, there might be some skews in the data, but it seems like there's some like interesting ones. Like it looks like Venusaur is like used pretty much universally across the
Yeah,
board, across the ratings, but you see Charizard definitely way more popular in the lower ratings, lower half of the ratings than the
I think it's more
over
budget
the
friendly.
yeah, more budget friendly than Gyarados. Well, Gyarados kind of mix all over the place. Obviously, some people have different uses.
Yeah.
Interesting Swampert. I
I
guess
mean,
all
if you follow like
yeah, the starters
if you
make
follow like
sense.
Twitch streamer, right? If you
Yeah,
follow Twitch streamer, you can see like Shadow McChant was like the thing like near the end, right? So you can see like the recently McChant was like 6.7. I think that's tied with the highest with Venusaur.
yeah, no,
Uh,
absolutely. That's
yeah, man.
that's great. So how often do you tweet out this information? How often are you collecting? Like how often are you compiling this information for the public to see?
Well, first I did it initially for Gold Stadium when preseason was out because I didn't want to go into preseason without knowing anything at all, and there was no resource for that. So I just took the community, I made a form, and then people just contributed, and then over time I just populate this, and like I didn't understand like how the rating would work, how ranking was work. So the formatting changed over time as I got a better understanding, and Niantic obviously changed like how rating and ranking works as well. Like this season, there's no rating in
Yeah,
7, 8, and so on.
yeah,
So I usually update or post a tweet like the first 24 hours,
okay,
and then the week after. So kind of like two snapshot and then one final. And then for the 1 week capture point, I usually give it to Matt from PP Poke. That's when he updates the ranking as well. So you do see a frequent update on PvP Poke ranking and see why things change based on this weighted usage and so on.
yeah, and I find it super helpful because obviously there's some Pokemon that were really inflated, and they might have like good conceptual use. Like I think the one was like Shadow Raikou. Shadow Raikou is
Mm-hmm.
like eighth on Great League, but like
Mm-hmm.
no one ever uses it, right? So obviously, it might have some favorable play, but just no one's ever using it. So its rating being that high as it was kind of throwing people off, and maybe like misweighting on obviously based off of the actual versus what was in the
Mm-hmm.
simulations.
Yeah, like I think like without weighted usage, I think like stuff back then like Altaria would just be ranked number one because it beats like everything. But when you like weight it in with all Zook usage, GFist usage, it probably weight it down and so
Yeah,
on.
exactly. So then, do you want to show how people can contribute their battles and win losses? Like, you want to show them the form that they can check out?
Yeah, definitely. You can go PV Poke. You go to rankings.
Hmm.
There's a form right here. You can
Okay.
update there.
Okay.
It will
Perfect.
take you to a Google Sheet form, and then you can contribute your data there. Um, and then you can also go to one of our biggest contributors, Go Battle Log, gobattlelog.com. Um, you can also submit your team here, and they also provide very useful data as well, which is more lifetime, real-time usage data, and then the common leads like Azu, and you can see the cheapest usage combo with that as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay, great. So I will include a link to your Twitter so people can check it out. Especially, I know people are going to be really
Mm-hmm.
interested in the Ultra Premier data usage since it's coming out pretty soon. I'll include a link to the forum and to Go Battle Log so people can start contributing to the data. And any final thoughts that you want to share with people in regards to their preparation for Ultra Premier or their last couple battles for Great League?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just follow my Twitter. I usually post like one day snapshot when the meta starts, and
Mm-hmm.
then a week afterwards to see how it changed. Use those data to like look at the usage of leads, right, and then pick like the best Pokemon to outcome these meta, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Obviously. So
I find it
yeah,
really helpful that you're breaking it down by rating and by rank. So because that's good. There's definitely differences in meta due to budget or like how difficult the Pokemon is to obtain or to use. So
mhm.
I'm really curious on how people will be able to utilize it and to help them win more battles.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that helps. And like I also do stuff outside of GBL.
Sure. Yeah. You want to talk to somebody yourself?
Yes, like for self data. The last cup we have was I think Catacomb.
Mhm.
Besides the player choice cup, I do break down the usage as well. Like Catacomb, you can see that. I'm not sure it's big enough for you.
Yep. No. Yep. It
But
is definitely is.
okay, so like Shooter Rudo is like almost 80% of teams.
Yeah.
And then Umbreon, Venusaur, and so on. And then I also broke it down by gold usage and silver usage. So gold usage in my like Reddit posts and so on. It's basically teams with players with the winning score, the highest score in that tournament.
Yeah.
And then silver usage is basically second place, right?
Yeah.
Like and so on. You could see like Shooter like the winning players use Shooter in 90% of their teams. not in the actual battle, but like in the team of 6 at least, because we
Yeah.
don't have the team of 3 usage data. So like Chudawoodo is basically a clear indicator that this is a MVP for this cup. 90% of winners use Chudawoodo and
Yeah.
so on,
Exactly.
and
So
go and so
even
on.
though it's the most used Pokemon, it actually is probably should be used even more than it actually was.
Mhm. Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
So
then if you go down the list, you can see like Drapion, it was used in 13% of the team, but only 7% in winning teams. So it's like that's why the performance score is a negative 45%. I mean, it's good, but like number of players that use it didn't really make it to the top cut, basically.
yeah.
That's how you can interpret these data, that, at least my usage data.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like over and underperforming Pokemon, and you can
Mhm.
either counter that meta or play along with it because it's obviously working out really well. And I find like in obviously in stealth meta it's a restricted meta, so like there's a smaller group of Pokemon that you can prepare for and
Mhm.
certain lines, and if you understand what's being commonly used, you can either use them or counter them depending on how
Mhm.
you want to play. Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's my surf data. I do this usually twice a month per cup. So like Sorcerer's Cup, similar thing. Azumarill is number one, and so on. Um, and then sometime my Twitter I also post like breakpoints.
Okay, yeah. So I
um,
see you have this Master League Breakpoint
yeah,
sheet.
yeah. It's not. I'm not sharing this because it's very fragile and it takes forever to load because there's so many checks and calculation. But like I usually tweet it out. If someone asks for like a certain Pokemon, I usually run it for them as well.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that because there are a lot of calculations, and I find probably Master League is probably the easiest one to do it because they're always
I also do like yeah, I also do Great League and Ultra League. I can show you after this. I show this one. So like for this one's for like Metagross for Master League or
yeah.
Premier Cup. You can see like for attack IVs 15 and 10. If you go down the list of damage done, it's basically the same. Outside of CMP factors and so on. But you do see like a breakpoint of like 15 attack for
Best Buddy.
Metagross. It
Yeah,
does 7 against this Dragon Knight. So that's like if, the way you see this. It's like, oh, maybe then you check on PV Poke and see if it makes a difference. And if you do notice that you win that matchup in the 2 shields. Um, so that's that, and also the shadow factors as well, and then the defensive side as well. And that's
from
usually I publish this on my Twitter as well. Um, if you have any questions, I can also publish results as well.
yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah, Breakpoint. I think that's good for people to know, like at a kind of a high level, like whether or not their Pokemon is worth powering up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
whether the the IV differences are that big a deal. Okay, so this is for the
Yeah.
Great League, right? So this is a Zumerall.
Yeah. This is a great league comparing against opposing rank ones. Because obviously I'm not going to compare every ranks in great league. That's very difficult.
For sure, for sure.
So yeah, like the one I highlight here is basically this 9, 15, 11.
Yeah.
It hits the break point for Bastiodon. And then while it doesn't give up any bulk against the other great league at rank 1 plus 15 IVs, because I don't know what IVs opponents has, but plusing 15 IV is usually a attack weighted version in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like rank 1 Aussie in my opinion is not the best if you look at breakpoints and bulk points in general. Because like if you have the 9, 15, 11, you hit Sableye, Venusaur, Machamp, and Bastiodon at rank 1s. So you pick up a lot more damage without giving up any defensive bulk. And
Yeah.
I usually post this on my Twitter as well. And if you want to take advantage of it, then go for it. But high rank's still good. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the Bastiodon one matters if you're not carrying Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because it probably wouldn't make it too big a difference. Well, probably easier to bubble down, but it probably doesn't make a too huge difference. But yeah, if you don't have the break point, the Bastiodon matchup becomes very iffy, which can be very unfortunate. But the other ones, yeah, the Machamp and the Sableye, yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, cool.
I mean,
That's go ahead.
again, I think that's all I have. That's just what I usually work on. And I help with like other content creator, like 7even. He does a count chart. When I was watching his stream, he was like counting bubbles, like the little dots in the PV poke. I'm like, this is way too slow for him. So I made like a spreadsheet for him where he just put fast move charge me and just give him the counts.
Oh, okay, very nice. That's awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I love those charts as well. I guess you have the example there. You want to just quickly show it?
yeah, yeah. So like 7even, he does this on his stream live when he makes it as well. And he posts it on his Patreon and Twitter. So basically, he does this chart, right? It counts, and then the little minus sign, which is like leftover energy.
Yeah.
So like Ozzy will do the second player will take 5 bubbles instead. So that's what the little mark is
Yeah,
showing
see with
here.
the mud bomb and earthquake. Yeah, there's a bunch of moves that have residual energy that end up making it do less, which is important because then helps you understand like how quickly the second move is going to come, so you can
Yeah,
count
so yeah.
appropriately.
So I hop on the data. You can see my little tag at the bottom right. He gives me thanks for it, or credit at least.
Yeah. Let me just actually just show that really quickly. Okay, yeah. No, this is super helpful, and we appreciate all the work that you're doing for the community, and hopefully more people will contribute. And we look forward to seeing the breakdown for Ultra Premier and Ultra League, and then as well for the upcoming self tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much. Any final thoughts, things you want to share? If you wanted to say your Twitter handle again.
Yeah, my Twitter handle is YTX Pikachu. Yeah, that's it. I think you probably link it somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, I'll include a link, and I appreciate your time and help. And yeah, looking forward to it. All right, thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see everyone in the next video.